Hi everybody, this is your sexy grandma who's going to teach you how to make Italian sauce. But now, because Auntie Tracy wants meatballs and stewing beef, we cannot make it with the ground meat. So in the next segment, I will make it with the ground meat. Capiche? Here we go. In this bowl, I have hamburger, garlic powder, onion powder, basil, and I'm going to put in some bread. Now you got to use your own judgment. I can't tell you what to say, 1 teaspoon or 2 teaspoons.
Tell them it's 3 pounds of meat. It's 3 pounds of meat.
Oh yeah, this is 3 pounds of meat in here.
And that's the amount of breadcrumbs you put in, because we don't measure.
Yes, and
So
also
we'll show you.
You've got to add milk. Not wine to get drunk, but milk.
Mom, did you want an egg? I forget. You put egg in yours?
No.
Okay. No egg. That much milk. Oh, that's a lot of milk.
But we got to make the meatballs soft, not hard, but soft. Okay, here we go. Now, but if Auntie Tracy wants real onion in here, she's got to cut the onions for me and dice it.
No.
But then she should be putting in the pot oil, garlic, basil, and half of an onion. Here we go. Do you feel this? Do you feel the noise? You hear the noise?
Should I put onion in it? I can puree an onion real fast.
You got onion. We just minced some onion, and now we're putting the fresh onion in. You can also put onion powder. If you like fresh onion, put fresh onion. If you don't, don't. Okay? Okay, I'm mixing the onion in with the meat, and now we're going to add some cheese. Cheese gives us a little good taste to the meat, but if you're going to use cheese, don't use too much salt because your meatballs will be too salty. If you want to recheck on me, call me up in heaven. I'll answer the phone. And remember, put no egg in the meat because it makes the meat harder. I never use egg. The milk is what you need.
Is it a handful?
Tracy washed her hands and she's now putting cheese into the meat. Just a tiny bit more. Measure the cheese. That's all I could tell you. Okay. And if you like mozzarella, mozzarella is very good too in this thing. You can put Romano, all those cheese, they're great, but mozzarella adds a good flavor to the meatball. I'm sorry we cannot put mozzarella in because Tracy has to get the grater out, and that's a big job. Then you gotta wash it. It takes time, so we gotta get this done.
And Jamie doesn't like the cheese.
Okay, here we go. You take a meatball in your hand and you go around. But the best thing is to go both ways. This way and that way.
Is it okay to put them on?
Then we're gonna put them on a cookie sheet when they're done. We're gonna get a lot of meatballs from this. When you make your meatballs, make them about this size because and make them all try to be even. Because if you make them big and small, they're gonna be a hard time in cooking. So eye it and do your best. Put a little bit in your hand and do it. Happy meatballs. Miss Tavery, who is televising us or doing it, she better get her hands washed and get over here and learn how to make these meatballs.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to bring the tomatoes from my house.
I have 4.
It depends what kind of pot you're using. You gotta make the meatballs small enough to fit in your pot. A very important rule, do not put the meatballs in the oven to get done. They have to be in the pot because you need all that juice. And if you put the meatballs in the oven, they get dry. If you put them in the pot, they stay soft. What do you want, dry or soft meatballs? It's up to you.
Soft.
All right, because there's so much meat, Tracy's helping me make the meatballs and she's learning. But she's got to learn this side, but she's doing a good job.
It's much wetter than I would think it should feel.
Tracy thinks they're stickier, but yes, they are because you put the milk in, and that's where the tenderness comes in. Okay, out of 3 pounds of hamburger, you're supposed to get 8 meatballs per pound, but it depends. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. We were supposed to get 24, we got 21. So that's good enough. Yep. Okay, because chuck roast costs so much money now, we are using stewing beef. But with the stewing beef, it takes a little longer in the sauce So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a pot with the stewing beef and let it cook longer. When it's almost done, then I'm gonna put the meatballs back in. But I'm gonna cook the meatballs in a separate pot. So we have, and then combine both the meatballs and the stewing beef together with all the sauces. Okay. I am now adding to the stewing beef a little bit of basil. We gotta flavor it. Don't forget, if you don't flavor it, you're not gonna get a good sauce. And also some onion powder. And some garlic powder. And it's very important to use fresh garlic in the oil when you're starting your sauce, because fresh garlic gives more of a flavor where the other garlic, the minced garlic, does not do such a good job. Okay. And, oh, I need the milk again. I'm gonna add a little bit of milk in here just to keep tenderness, but not too much because it's gotta be done in the oil. Alrighty, that's it. And we're gonna let this set for a while, and then we're gonna put it on to cook. The milk, you know, has to be in the refrigerator. So Tavery, do your job, put the milk back in the refrigerator. Well, you know, you have to put enough oil in the pot because that's where you get your flavor from. Don't be afraid of oil. There's fresh garlic in there, basil, and about a quarter of an onion, which you'll give it. The quarter of an onion is going to be in the stewing beef, though. Okay, now Tavery is televising. We're going to do the meatballs. I hope everybody knows how to put the stove on and cook their meatballs. Here's a very important thing. Do not overcrowd your meatballs when you have them in the pot cooking, because they will break apart if you turn them around. They've got to have enough room so you can cook them all around. Okay, now we're giving you a look how to cook a meatball in a pot. Kavish? I hope you understand. Hey, I forgot to show you my cooking attire. I never use an apron. I do not like aprons, but because they thought it looked better today and looked more sexier, I do have a red apron on. So it's up to you if you want to put an apron on or not.
Oh my God.
This is how it should look like when the meatballs are done. But because we're doing these in 2 pots, it's a little different. So I'm putting the meatballs in here, but I'm adding 1 can of tomatoes just to keep them soaking. Then when the other stewing beef is done in the other pot, we're gonna combine them and add more tomatoes, and you're gonna crushed tomatoes in here. And you know, to all the sauce, you gotta add a little bit of sugar because it's so sour. I hope that it gets better later on. Okay, I gotta add, well, I know, Grandpa used to use tomato paste, but I don't use tomato paste because it's too acidy of a sauce. So I try to keep the acid from the sauce down by adding a little sugar. And you're gonna see when you open each can of tomatoes, each one is sour. So, Tavy, go get me the sugar. You have to judge with the sugar because you gotta taste it, because some people like it sweeter, some don't. So I'm putting this one in right now, so for now. And put this on very low, Trey.
Okay.
Very, very low. Now we're starting the pot with the beef. Right now we got a half of onion in there, oil and garlic. And I marinated the meat in a little tiny bit of milk for tenderness. So we're gonna let that get brown, and then we'll add our tomatoes in and let that boil. When that's done, the meat is tender, we're gonna add the meatballs in and combine. Now I put 3 cans of tomatoes, and that's what Tracy had left. And to the 3 cans of tomatoes, you have to wait till it starts to boil. Then you add your water. And right now I put 1.5 cans of water. After you add the water, you let it come to a boil with the tomatoes. After it comes to a boil, then you add the water. Now you gotta go, it depends how much meat you're using and what your making? Meatballs or just the ground hamburger? The ground hamburger takes less, so you have to judge yourself. And today we made meatballs in one pot and stewing beef in the other. So it was a little difficult today, but usually I make it in one pot. So you put the water and let it boil, and then put it down after it's boiled, let it cook for a little while. When you do just the ground hamburger, you don't have to let it cook that long. You let it come to a boil and then take it off and hope it tastes good. Bon appetit. I hope you enjoy the sauce, eat it, and think of me with every bite that you take. And everybody's keep making it over and over, and you're going to perfect a beautiful sauce. And then when I'm in heaven, I will be looking down on you and expect that dish of spaghetti. Goodbye. Have